Okay, so today we're going to start talking about eukaryotic cells specifically. So our focus question, which goes on the right side of your notebook, is how is cell structure related to cell function? So within that eukaryotic cell, there's a bunch of different organelles, and these are kind of like how your whole body has a bunch of different organs. Each cell has a whole bunch of organelles. So the first one is the nucleus, and it's one of the most important ones in the cell. And then after that, we also have the mitochondria, the vacuole, the lysosome, the ribosome, the endoplasmic reticulum, the Golgi apparatus, the cell membrane, the cell wall, or the chloroplast. And not all cells have all of these things, but these are organelles that are found within different types of eukaryotic cells. So when we're talking about eukaryotic cells, we're talking about both plant and animal cells. The nucleus is where all the genetic material, DNA or RNA, is held, and this is kind of the brain of the cell. So this is a picture of just the nucleus within a cell, and you'll notice that there's these nuclear pores, nuclear envelope that surrounds it, and then the nucleolus is the region where all of the genetic material is held. Make sure that on the right side of your notebook you put nucleus and genetic material. The mitochondria is where cellular respiration occurs, and we know that cellular respiration is how we create ATP or energy for our bodies to survive. So this is also considered the powerhouse of the cell. So this picture of the mitochondria, you'll notice that it has a really crazy design on the inside of all these folds, and that's to create more surface area within the cell in order to create more energy. But it is its own little organelle with a membrane on its own. Make sure that mitochondria and cellular respiration go on the right side. The vacuole is used for storage, and this is mostly just found in plant cells. So this is where waste, water, and other types of things can be stored is within this vacuole, and it's usually pretty large. In the right side of your notebook, when it says write just this line, all you have to do is just list the word vacuole. The lysosome actually contains these digestive enzymes and proteins, and it's a little tiny organelle, and it moves around. It has its own membrane, just like the other ones, and it contains these little enzymes, and it moves around the cell. The ribosome, this entire slide should go on your right side. This is where protein synthesis occurs, and it is usually attached to the rough endoplasmic reticulum, but can move around the cell and transport. The endoplasmic reticulum, both smooth and rough, this is where lipid and protein synthesis occurs. So there's two different areas, and the rough endoplasmic reticulum is where the ribosomes are attached to the outside. You can see it in this picture, these little yellow dots. And then the smooth is just like it sounds. It's a smoother area of the endoplasmic reticulum. You only have to put the name on the right side. The Golgi apparatus is used for processing proteins after synthesis, and it has these vesicles that will break off, and they will move things around the cell. The cell wall. So cell walls are only found in plant cells, and it helps maintain this structure, and it has a ton of fibers in it, and it is a little bit more rigid than just the cell membrane. Plant cells also do have a cell membrane, but they are the only ones with a cell wall. The cell membrane is used in plant and animal cells, and it's for protection, but it's also considered selectively permeable. And what we mean when we say selectively permeable is that different molecules can move into and out of the cell, and they usually have some type of transport, like right here, where this protein channel can move larger molecules through. And it is semi-permeable, so water can move in and out of the cell to maintain this amount of water equilibrium on the inside and the outside of the cell. And the last one, I think the last one that we're going to talk about is the chloroplast. And this is also considered a powerhouse. So this would be equivalent to the mitochondria in animal cells. This is in plant cells. And this is where photosynthesis occurs. So it's got a lot of surface area as well with inside, and this is where we convert light energy into ATP. So when you're done, you may watch, do your worksheet first, and then if you have time, you may move on to any of the TED Talks listed in the TED Talk section.